$16,254.25 is how much debt I have accumulated. And that really sucks to say, but I'm going to break it down by card, how much is on each card, what is the limit on those cards, and my plan to pay all of this off. Okay, starting out with my lowest balance, this is my Bank of America secured credit card. I've had this since literally I was like 18 years old. I owe $475.52 on it. The limit is $900. Okay, up next is my Apple Card. I owe $3,139.54. I don't actually know what the limit is. I think it's very close to the limit. I want to say the limit is literally like $32.50 or something. I'm very close to the limit is what I'm saying. Okay, next I have a Discover card. I owe $4,376.68. The limit on this one is $10,300. I've had this one since I was 21, 22 maybe. Last, and thank God least, I have a Chase Visa signature card. I owe $8,262.51, I think. I'm trying to remember all these numbers, looking at screenshots. The limit on this one is like $8,600, so I'm very close to maxing this one out as well. I'm doing a no-buy 2025, so an entire year of only buying necessities, no clothes, no TJ Maxx runs, no Targets, anything like that, to really get a grip on my debt and to get it paid off. And so follow along. If you like this kind of content and you want to pay off your own debt, you need motivation, here you go.
Guys, how much credit card debt are we in? Seriously, please tell me. And I'm talking consumer debt. I'm not talking like car payments. Well, maybe a car payment. Actually, no. I'm not talking student loans. I am talking credit card consumer debt. How much credit card debt are we in? How many credit cards do you have? Please tell me, because I'm supposed to be on a debt-free journey and I'm trying, but I can't stop shopping. I'm a shopaholic. We're talking about it in therapy. That's fine. But please tell me so I can feel a little bit better about myself. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. I'm under 10K on 2 cards. So, not like combined, not like each. So that makes me feel a little bit better, because I know people have like way more than that. But please, make me feel a little bit better about myself. Are we in the same boat? Are you above me? Please help. Thanks.
I did my May expenses because I got paid today, and I realized that I have officially hit $30,000 in credit card debt, and that is insane and unacceptable. And so I did a deep dive to find out how I actually got worse and worse into debt when this is something I've been focusing on for 6 months. Before you come for me, this comes from a completely separate bank account. I had no idea. Like, I would tell myself, okay, I'm not going to spend, and then very easily fall back into a poor spending habit. Whatever I want, I buy it. I also make money on TikTok Shop, and so I was rationalizing in my head every time I wanted something on TikTok Shop that I could sell it on here. I make about $1,000 a month on TikTok Shop, and I'm spending about $1,000 a month on TikTok Shop, which is insane. I also buy from boutiques, and I drop $100 here and there and here and there without thought. June is going to be a no spend month for me, and I'm really excited to see how hard it is, but I really want to do this.
Get ready with me while I share with you guys how I paid off $12,000 of credit card debt. When I was 22, I had a job as a store manager at Buckle. I decided that I wanted to open up my first credit card. That one credit card ended up spiraling into like me opening up every credit card imaginable. And because I was so young and I wanted so many things, I literally maxed them all out within like a year. I was able to make all of my minimum payments on the credit cards, but at 22, that's when the cycle started of maxing out the card, paying the minimum balance, and I quickly got stuck into that minimum payment cycle. Fast forward 3 years, I'm in $9,000 worth of credit card debt. I'm working at a new job. At this time, I'm working at CarMax, and I decided to go back to school to get my bachelor's degree. I was working full-time. I was going to school full-time. At the time, I had so much shame for the debt that I had. I literally associated my self-worth with debt. Like, in my mind, I was always thinking, oh, I have $9,000 worth of credit card debt. I am literally a POS. A lot of that attributed to the person that I was dating at the time, who was very financially secure. I actually hid having credit card debt from him for a while because I was so ashamed about it. But looking back, I wish I could just give myself a huge hug and be like, girl, it's not like you're a bad person. You just literally have to learn how to get out of it. So if you are currently having shame because of your credit card debt, don't. So the day before I turned 26, I actually broke up with the guy that I was referring to. I had to move back in with my parents, and simultaneously I quit my job at CarMax because it was like over an hour away from my parents' house. So I quit that job, moved home, and I got a job as a waitress, and I was so scared that I wasn't going to be able to make the minimum payments on my credit cards. Around the time that I start dating my current boyfriend, who at the time was a banker at Wells Fargo. I was so comfortable with him that I easily like shared my financial situation with him. Like, it just felt so good to have zero shame with my new boyfriend about money. A lot of drama happened with me and my parents, and I actually got invited to no longer live with them. So Luis told me that I can move in with him. He was living at his mom and dad's house at the time. He told me I didn't have to pay rent. I ended up landing a job at Poshmark headquarters, which was like my first big girl job. And Luis came up with the idea. He was like, let's write down all of your credit card debt in a list from biggest to smallest. He was like, you're gonna get paid, you're gonna pay your car payment, you're gonna pay all your minimum balances, and then you're gonna pay the smallest credit card first. You're not gonna spend money on nails, you're not gonna spend money on literally anything. Like, the goal was to just go to work, survive, and pay off my credit cards. He literally like put it on a calendar, and I saw that if I were to just make these payments for 6 months straight, I would be completely out of debt. The only kicker was that I literally couldn't spend money. Like, we couldn't go out, we couldn't do fun things, you know what I mean? Like, I had to be really strict if I was serious about paying off this debt. But because I had this plan literally down on paper and I saw the exact date that I would be debt free, that is really what motivated me to get out of debt. And the fact that my boyfriend was just like super encouraging. This remained very strict. It was super helpful that I didn't have to pay rent, and it was helpful that I lived with him. So literally we just like hung out together. That was like our entertainment. And within 6 months of me getting that big girl job, I was credit card debt free. It was the most freeing thing ever. I have so many other moments that I could tell you about where I was $0, negative dollars in my bank account. So if you want to hear those stories, I am more than happy to share, because again, I do not let the shame of being broke define me. I have grown so much, and so can you. If you don't know how to budget, you can learn. If you don't know how to save money, you can learn. You can do it.
It's almost been 2 weeks since I started this account, so let's go over my debt, see how much I owe and where I owe it to. I'm gonna go in first to last order of how I want to pay off the debt. So first off, Chrysler Pacifica, that's our van. The total for it, the loan started at $13,423. We were able to throw a large chunk of our tax return back into this, so we have currently paid off $5,140, leaving the remaining total at $8,283. My goal is to have this van paid off by August of this year. Next on our list, Freedom Debt Relief. This is a consolidation loan. This loan started off at $41,885. We've currently paid off $4,557 of it, leaving the current total to $37,320. Next on our list is KeyBank. This is our solar panels. Someone convinced us to get those. They said we'd get a big tax credit, and we did, and instead of throwing it at the solar panels, we spent it. The total price started out at $21,276. We've had these for the past 4 years. We've been able to pay off $5,002 of it, leaving the current total to $16,274. Okay, the last one, the big one. Our HELOC. Initial line of credit started out at $80,000. We have paid off $350, leaving it to $79,645. This whole time I've been saying we have $100,000 in debt. I was a little bit off on that number. We started out with $156,579. With everything we've paid off so far, we've been able to pay down a total of $15,049, leaving us at $141,530 left. I have a plan to pay this off in the next 2.5 years. My main reason for creating this account was to keep me a little bit more accountable as I pay off the debt. My biggest fear is that as soon as we pay off one debt and we have a little bit more extra wiggle room, I just don't want to fall back into old spending habits. I want it all to go towards debt. So you're here to keep me accountable. If you want to hold me to my goal, follow along.
How do y'all have no debt? I need to know. There are days like today where I just want to go on a rant about debt. I have $40,000 worth of debt, and that does not include my student loans or my mortgage, because those are things that they get paid when, well, the mortgage gets paid all the time. Obviously, student loans, whenever they come back on, okay, whatever, I'll have to pay that. But I am talking about daily living expenses debt. How do you not have debt? Maybe you guys do and you're just not telling everybody, and that's perfectly fine. Do whatever is best for you. I don't normally tell people, but I've been sharing my recipes, and I'm doing a series on share my recipes to help pay down my debt, because how else am I going to do it? It's going to be a continuous cycle. Like, I'm not spending money on like getting my nails done, going buy new clothes, new shoes, new bags. No, I'm getting diapers. I'm getting wipes. I'm getting formula. I'm getting groceries, things that are a necessity for us to quite literally stay alive. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this or goes on rants about debt, but something's got to give. The economy's got to change. I can do some things on my part as far as maybe I can make more money. Hello, TikTok. That would be you. So, yeah. Happy Wednesday.
I am coming on here to air my dirty laundry so you can feel better about yours. I am currently, are you ready? $145,533 in debt. That's cute, huh? So cute. 2 car loans. There are some student loans in there, and a personal loan, and then consumer debt, credit card debt. So in the last 6 months, I think we've paid off about $7,000. And I thought, what better way to keep myself accountable than to come on here, create a group of people that are also in the same situation or have gotten out of this situation or whatever the situation may be. But basically, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to get out of it. It's not going to be quick, and it's not going to be a good time, but, you know, shit's got to be done. So I am currently going to just be checking in often and showing you guys what I'm doing, how I'm going to get there, what I've done so far, all the things. And I would love your advice and input going forward. So, yeah, it's time to do this. So, anyways, that's my dirty laundry. I guess it's better than a skid mark in your underwear. Although I don't know. I'd probably take a skid mark in my underwear before this much debt.
I need everyone to know this about being in your early 20s. You will meet people that are going to Europe every summer, buying new cars, buying new outfits, going to Coachella. And if you are wondering, how can they afford to be living like this? Like, is something wrong with me that I'm not able to spend like that? Just know they aren't spending like that because they're working harder than you, because they're networking better than you, because they're better connected. They're probably not even generationally wealthy. They are just in massive amounts of credit card debt. How much someone spends and the life that they portray on social media is not necessarily reflective of how much money they are really making. Nothing is wrong with you if you're not able to spend like that. In fact, you are way better off in the long run because you are living within your means instead of going into crazy debt to portray a lifestyle that is far above it.